What is up, everybody? Hello, good morning. Welcome to another edition of the stock market. And not disappointing today, we got some movement. Love it. I mean, as much as you can love a market drop, right? Not good for long-term investors, but movement is good for trading. That's for sure. Trying to see if there's any news on the drop. And looks like it happened right off the new session open. Having to scroll way back into time here. Yeah, I'm not seeing any major thing that's jumping out at me. I'm gonna have to do a little bit more digging. But nevertheless, this is where we find ourselves. Pretty substantial market drop here. This gap is going to be completely filled on the S&P. Do we have any more to the downside? We might not. We might be done with gaps here. Wait, we don't have this one, do we? Oh yeah, that one would be filled too. Like perhaps some of my lines got deleted here, but anyway, market is open. We're in a downtrend. Let's see if this continues, and we might look for a short. Let's fast forward. We're definitely expecting another leg down, I think. Let's just double check what we got as far as a channel. Looks like this all fits in there. So yeah, expecting another move down. Let's see if we can get a short here. Just looking for a lower high. Nasdaq looks played out though. So we have this channel that already had a little break and new low. So a little bit of a different structure we got going on between both indices. Actually, if I'm gonna only play today's action, ES might be the same. Could be played out. Okay, well, and that's an important distinction there. And especially we're bouncing right off of this key level, which is the high from the 23rd. Let's put this low on there too. Looks like we're right between those two levels. Pushing down. I'm looking for that lower high. And that lower high did not touch the moving average. So not going to take that one. Very tempted to put on a test short here. And wow, we're just getting off to a quick start here. I haven't even said what's up to everyone. Good morning, Jonathan, Archer, Paul, Agallador, Michael, Tom, Ed, Bill, Martin, Peter. It is good to see everybody. Thank you for stopping in, for saying hello this morning. Shout out Paul too. First payout in the bank. That is awesome. It's an exciting feeling when you're seeing the fruits of your labor. And Paul's been working really hard, one of the mentor students. So, man, good on you, Paul. That's great. Good morning, Anna. Little downtrend here. See what happens on a pullback. All right, looks like we may be getting a pullback here. And yeah, the more I look, not seeing any solid, like there wasn't a specific news release that came out. Government shutdown has been going on. It's been dragging on for a long time. That will cause uncertainty in the market. We have pretty much been rallying for no apparent reason the last 2 weeks, so this could just be a natural pullback, which would be very, very common. Okay, so could start to get a second entry short here. We had this move down, one leg of a pullback, first attempt lower, and doesn't look like we're going to get back to the 21 for the second leg lower. So this bounce is right on cue. We had this move down, break new low. That is when we would expect the other side of the market to come in. back below the EMA. We don't really have any trend to go off of. Still don't really have a solid trend to go off of. We're more or less going sideways at this point, so can't get too wild here. Still looking for a good bar. Generally, I would be leaning on the short side here. Agayador is asking why I didn't short something. I don't see anything that set up. We have a move down. We have this trend playing out here. So at this point, you have to stop shorts because this trend has been played out. So I'm not sure where exactly you think the short is. Even if this trend was in play, there's no real solid signal bar. We have the first entry right here above the EMA, and then the second entry triggers below this green bar. We're not going to short below green bar. So yeah, I'm not sure which one you're seeing. Speaking of which, though, I am going to reload my data. We'll take a look at the NAS right now. Largely the same, kind of going sideways, generally trending down, but we need to be patient and wait. NQ getting a bounce. We'll have to respect this, and if we can get outside of basically this range here, we can start to consider a long. Matter of fact, I'm going to draw that range because there's certainly We've been going sideways for the past couple hours there. Yugaba. What's up, Yugaba? Welcome. New here, awesome. Make yourself comfy. We're hanging out, we're chilling. We're letting the market come to us and hopefully getting an opportunity here. Right now, the market is going, and I'm talking about SPY, above the low from the 24th. We have all sorts of lows here, actually. There's a lot of support coming up here. Was support, maybe turned into resistance, so definitely be watching this area. Yugb. I trade price action, so yeah, the best way to learn my strategy is you can go on my YouTube channel. I actually have one video breaking that down, breaking one of the setups down, and then going back to my live streams. But yeah, trading price action, basically for the most part following trends. So trying to stay on the right side of trends, looking for pullbacks and continuation. If you're in a range, looking for failed breakouts. And then if the market is back and forth, looking for trends to play out and then take reversals. So yeah, just trading price action, not relying on any indicator. The only supportive indicator that we have is just a 21 EMA, and that's just kind of giving us a sense of it's a good middle ground for as far as pullbacks and support resistance. So yeah, you just have to kind of tune in, and I'm calling out play by play exactly what I'm looking for. Right now we don't have any trends in place. We're just kind of waiting. We had this move up, but it has already played out. We had a little break, had a new high, so that move is played out. Now I would be looking for a reversal, so looking for a double lower high. We have one lower high right here. I want one more on a break and retest of the EMA. Same on NQ. All right. Yes, Yug. I definitely will let you know if I take any trades. The big thing, I don't know what your experience in trading is, but the big thing is that trading, like beginners and people who are struggling with trading, have a huge misconception when it comes to trading in general. They expect like you gotta always be in a position. You should be clicking buy, sell. You get back in. Like that's just not how real trading works. All the successful traders I know take 1 to 3 trades a day, being patient, waiting for everything to align. It's more like fishing than it is like I don't know, high intensity video game or something. So anyway, patience is key, my friend. Yes, and there are some days when you just ought not to take a trade. That ought to be a common thing. Should not be something that you think is something's wrong with me. I didn't take a trade today. That's good. You're not just clicking buttons. Like if you're just clicking buttons and you don't actually have a proven statistically backed setup, you're just gambling. And people will use all sorts of colorful language. Oh, I'm over trading, or man, I just need to wait for my A+ setup. No. Cut all that out. I gambled. I pulled the lever on the slot machine. It didn't work out for me. Man, my chart is still loading for some reason. We're going to try to do this one more time. Maybe it'll come in for us. Back on the Nasdaq, we would be interested in a double lower high for a reversal here. This move up played out with a break and a new high, so we're not looking for any more uptrend. See if we can get a reversal. However, the ES is going higher, so if it doesn't correct soon, we will have to take a look at perhaps a wider uptrend. Morning, Chana. Looks like NQ might be trying to go test that low from the 30th that we blew through on the overnight session. And I'm going to mark that out. Oh, I already have it marked out. That will be a big line in the sand for sure. All right, S&P continuing higher. My chart's still not loading for some reason, but it does look like we have a larger channel in play. All right, so with this larger uptrend, I do expect a pullback, and I will be ready to take a long. However, I need my chart to load. Jeez Louise. I don't know why it's not. I am going to widen this Nasdaq trend too. We're coming up on that key level. Need to see this break through. And hold that level as support in order to take a long. Yug asking if there's a delay in the stream. Yug, make sure you go down to the bottom. Little video screen, go down to the bottom. Make sure there's a little red dot that says live. You may need to move the scroll wheel over. I mean, there will be a slight delay in the stream. It's not going to be exactly live. That's just the nature of YouTube. Smash that live button. There you go, Tom. Pete, I want this line on my chart to hold on NQ. So that is 25.85.5. 25.855. That is the low from the 30th. Morning, Havas. My S&P chart still for some reason is not finishing loading, which is unfortunate. A little bug. Watching this pullback on NQ, however, I don't like so far that we're rejecting off of this key level. Again, I'd want to see us get above it and act as support, not pull back off of it. Over on ES, we're getting that pullback. We just need a nice second entry. So we're looking for one leg of the pullback, one attempt higher, second leg of the pullback, and that's where we will take the long. Oh, hold on. Both of my charts froze here. Jeez Louise. Not what I'm wanting to see this morning. Especially not as a trade is setting up. I'm gonna get it on a different connection here. See if it helps. Trade of 8 glitched out. That's good to know. Good to know it's not just me. All right, so I do like this move on NQ above that key level. And if we can hold that, I'm going to be long. And even if we don't get a perfect setup, I will probably take that long on a test trade. Which, if you're new here, I have been testing a new strategy. And so it's definitely not one that you should copy. I mean, you shouldn't copy anything. You'll never make it in trading if you're just copying others. But even more so, a strategy that I'm telling you is not, that I'm still testing, right? So anyway, I might do that because I do like the context. And if we're going to hold that key level, I think we're going higher. ES has yesterday's low coming up. Yug asking, is it going to fill the opening session gap? We'll find out, won't we? Nobody knows, man. And anyone that tells you that they know, run. That is the thing with trading. We absolutely have no idea what is going to happen. There's only probabilities, right? And I would say probabilities are definitely up that we go fill that gap. This is going to be the key, though, is yesterday's low. If we get above that, I would say almost with 90%, almost 100% certainty, as much as you can, that we would fill the gap, which is just a little bit higher. But if we cannot get above yesterday's low, then it's going to be no dice, and we might just then kind of chop around in here, which would make a lot of sense because we were not able to clear this level to the downside. I don't think there's probably any more downside here. So I think either we have an uptrend and go fill that gap, or we more or less range around these general levels. Waiting for this pullback to get back to the 21 EMA, and that is when we're going to be able to make a determination what the market is likely to do. I'm tempted to put on a little test position here, but I think I'm going to wait. I'm going to be a good boy and wait for that level to retest. And we did not get back to the 21 EMA here. Bummer. NQ does still look like it wants to pull back and test that key level, so that is one thing keeping me from taking a test long here. It does feel like the Nasdaq wants to get back, as it is right now. Test that area. All right, starting to get that test on that key level on NQ. See how it holds. Yug, I let you know exactly what I was thinking, my friend. Patience, I can tell you're eager to click buttons. Will not go well for you. I already said exactly what I'm looking for. We need a good test of this. This is the very first test right here, okay? But that can be tricky, right? Oftentimes you'll get one test of a level and it's like, oh, it's holding, and then drop. So if you get that second test, that's when we can be a lot more confident that a level's going to hold. So we're waiting for that second test here. And I'm getting ready on a test strategy, because if this holds, I'm not going to wait for the perfect signal bar. I am just going to get long. And we'll add to it if it confirms. All right, that's why we wait, ladies and gentlemen. That's exactly what I was talking about. Looks good. Things look good. It's like, oh man, we're going up. This is holding. That's when people are going to get long, and boom, you get wrecked right here. So that is exactly perfect case in point why we will wait for that double test to really ensure that a level is holding or not. He is asking, can you get a second test within a 5-minute candle? Well, of course, these aren't even 5-minute candles, so yeah, I'm not sure what that question means. Of course, you can test something twice within 30 seconds. You can test it within 15 minutes. I mean, just, yeah, of course you can. Ooh, another rejection. Not looking good for NQ. ES as well, below the EMA. In order to take along, we are going to need a push above and a retest. Break and retest of that 21. All right, on the off chance that we do push higher here, I'm going to take a couple tests here. This is just a test strategy. All right. We're going to cut this one very short if it doesn't produce. NQ having another move down below the EMA. I'm actually going to cut this even shorter. It does not look like it's going to go anywhere. So we'll basically take a scratch on that. Not interested in fighting the NQ if it's dropping. Ooh, this higher low, pretty tempting here. And we're going to try another test. If Nasdaq participates this time. And the thing with these test trades, guys, is that I'm trying to be okay with losing. I'm trying to cut losers very short and let winners run. So if their winner starts to run, I'll add to the trade. And I think I'm going to take a small test on whatchamacallit, NQ as well, if it gets above its EMA. Right now, S&P is looking better. Nice move up, and we have reached a new high here on ES. So if we don't push any higher, I'm going to take the profit there. And if you waited for the higher low, that's actually a confirmed trade right there. That's a beautiful setup. I got in early just because it looked like it was going to form, but if you waited for that higher low, that's exactly what we're looking for. Came down, one attempt higher, second pullback. Can't take this bar, it's below the EMA. Push above, get that nice green higher low. Boom. Beautiful trade. Looks like Paul got it. Good work, Paul. On your way to another payout, my friend. But now it does look like the uptrend is potentially played out. We had this move up, break new high. This is when we would expect the sellers to step in. If we keep going higher from here, it may be the case that we have like a secondary channel like so. Something like this. Because this whole thing started off with a spike. That's very common to have a spike and then a secondary channel. So that's something I will be watching for. Oh, actually, it might just be wider. Actually, yeah, this whole thing just fits. NQ is still valid too, so yeah, this might just all be Still going steady here. Josh saying higher low on NQ. Yeah, good setup. Good setup indeed. And we could get another pullback on ES too. We'll be looking for the same thing. 2 tests on the EMA. Get a trade right around here. Boom, take another long. Getting that push on ES, and it looks like it wants to go test that next level there, which is yesterday's low. But we might have to weather a pullback before that happens. Trade evades down, eh, Tom? Yikes. Glad I'm on Ninja Trader. All right, pushing up. So we are definitely just waiting for the opportunity to get long here. Yas out on NQ. Nice. I did not have a higher low on NQ, unfortunately. But maybe your chart looks different than mine. Here's that pullback on ES. Let's see what happens here at the 21. It's like it's finding support on the EMA. Let's see if we can get one more leg of a pullback, right? We have one pullback here, one attempt higher. We're looking for that second leg, and then we'll be looking for a bullish bar right around here. If we get that, we will go long. Maybe getting the second leg of the pullback here. Okay, here's the second leg of the pullback. Let's see what happens. I kind of suspect we're going to have a deeper correction, but we'll see. And NQ looking like it's going to make the high. I unfortunately didn't have the setup here. It sounds like some of you did. Was looking for a higher low. We never got it. Only this bar, this green bar, but it did not trigger. Then you just had this bearish bar, so nothing going there. And NQ played out for the time being. We had a break of the channel and a new high, so we would assume that the sellers would step in at this point. I don't see any case for a larger channel, even if, well, actually I do. If we really go to the very bottom swing, line up these two swings, it actually does look like this could be a wider channel. So I'm going to hold that loosely, especially on NQ. Yes, it looks a little bit more solid to do that. And I may take a test long here if we get a nice pullback. Whoa. Getting some movement. Getting some movement. Things are getting spicy. How we doing out there, ladies and gentlemen? We holding it together? Everyone doing all right? Hope no one's shorting this thing. Does look pretty top heavy though, I will say. Larger correction makes a lot of sense here. But anyway, I think that's going to do it for the stream. I've already told you guys kind of what I'm looking for. Right now, we do have an uptrend in play. ES is pretty likely to get to this level, at least to test it. So I'm looking for a downtrend to play itself out with two legs and then get another pop up. And that's when we can start looking for longs again. And yeah, I should have some great opportunities today. I'm going to be rocking and rolling in the Discord. If you are struggling with your trading and you need a strategy, make sure you check out my masterclass, guys. It's loaded. 4 hours of everything that I've learned, consolidated, organized, structured in a way that can take you from zero to payouts very quickly. Or even if you're experienced, there's a lot of gold nuggets in there you're not going to find anywhere else, and a perfect structured system for you to take your trading to the next level. So check it out. I think there's links in the chat, there's links in the description. I'm going to switch over to Discord. Happy trading with you today, guys. I'll see you next time.